boys are all in circles. Maybe they'll let us go up there, but there are a lot of...
Called CP squared has 51 minus degrees of freedom, making...
On the way home, I got hungry, and I ate it.
We're Americans, and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating, and I'm reading a book, and this waitress comes up.
Making a little communist robot, but it is controlled by living brains much like those inside your head. Researchers
This moth isn't just swinging around, it's been bugged.
grow collections around 3,000 rat brain cells in the lab. The cells grow collections with each other and start communicating using electrical
Using electrodes implanted into his muscles.
Some are hard to found out to respond predictably. Signals from robots or ultrasound distance sensor.
Here, signals are sent to its left flight muscle to make it lift that wing.
The output of these cells can be used to control
Different signals can be sent for it to lower its wing, to lift both wings at once, or to make them flat.
They each have a motor in them, and it actually drives forward when I walk. It actually powers that knee through the step.
Powered through Bluetooth technology.
Increasing the frequency of the pulse makes the wings beat faster. If a signal is sent only to one side while the moth is flying, it will veer in that direction. Implanted electrodes into the brains of tree beetles,
and they
close to
talk to
neurons
each other and try to
that control
mimic
flight.
the stride length.
A computer
that the
program
other
in the
one's doing. If I
device
speed
controls
up,
the
the other one
beetle,
can realize
and
it's
here
doing
it
it and
beats
it'll
its
speed up
wings
as well.
and takes off when a negative voltage is sent to its brain. Researchers are putting moths in control and using them as a pair of eyes. They've found out how to intercept signals from their visual system and how to use them to make a robot move. Here, a graduate student demonstrates how the robot can be steered. Combining living and machine components could eventually make robotic systems more effective.
Legs when an IED hit his convoy in Fallujah, Iraq in 2006.
The IED went off directly underneath me and took off basically everything that was hanging over the ledge of the seat, my legs. And then it killed my sergeant in front of me and my good friend next to me. My gunner lost his right leg. I shattered my hip. I have 32 pins in my hip. I broke my pelvis, so I have a 6-inch screw holding that together. I lost both legs above the knee. I broke 4 fingers, broke my jaw, broke my nose, lacerated kidney. So I recovered well, I think, and great care here and done well.
Today, I use the Bluetooth prosthetics.
It's a lot of hip control. In my other legs, I usually have to use all my thigh to power through things, but since these are moving on their own, then I actually just kind of have to lift and shift my weight a little bit.
He says they're a bit heavier than the other 2 microchip prosthetics he's worn, but they require much less effort to operate.
If they're not programmed right, they kind of do their own thing sometimes, and they'll kick for no reason. Like you'll just be standing there and be like, and just kick off to the side.
Able to master the stairs just yet.
Sometimes when you go near a computer or something, you'll hear the computer start prism, so it does do that a lot. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, and I have to turn my legs off.
In communicating robot wirelessly, the team plans to use their robot brain power on new behavior in the future. They hope there are enough similarities to teach about unknown aspects of our own brain.
Welcome, everybody. Once again, all of this music was made by me, or I was involved in. All right, folks. There we blow. With those tracks, once again, all of those thingy bobbers, all the music you hear in the beginning, most of the time now, from now on, is produced by me or I was involved in it some way, shape, or form. So welcome everybody. We're going to bring in our lovely guests, and then we will say hello to the side of my chats. Just trying to get things all squared away in the background. Let's do this and that, and then we'll get to there.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Exactly. And fair use 401 and a handful of other things for our disclaimers. You should know that the way that we do these things, or if you're new or we're using your content and you don't know, just keep watching. You'll see how we cut the stuff up, and that have fun trying to copyright claim us. Other things you could totally claim us for, but not for that. So let's play this.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls. I need you, Action Bastard. Action Bastard, I need you. Action Bastard, I need you. Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second. Are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead. You're stupid. Yeah. Yeah.
What? What? Oh! What was in this shit?
Exactly. That's how I feel like every time we do these shows, because I know about most of these things, but the further and further that we delve into it, and the more that I hear people talk about these subjects, the more I'm just like, God damn, how high are we? And so definitely, if you'd like to see me more high, you can throw $5 at one of those links up above for me to do a shot. And I got the pink this time. I got the stuff I like. I remembered. So let's bring in our co-host and the person who helps this channel keep running, because I'm a slacker and they are everybody's.
Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
Hi all. And sorry, we're talking about demons, so I'm changing my image.
Totes.
Fuck you.
But you should have put horns on him and done all this.
Why? This is already the devil incarnate.
I know, but it would have been so much fun if I wish I could draw stuff on him.
Dude,
I mean, I guess I could.
I downloaded the image while the music was playing. I was like, oh, fuck, I need to do that.
Nice. But he is definitely the devil for sure. All right, let's bring in our next guest, and then we'll say hello to the side of my chats. If there's anybody in the side of my chats who wants to join us, just let us know, and we'll send you a link if we've not already sent you one. We have sent out a handful of links, I believe, and y'all wanted us to go over this. So where is everybody at? Jeez. we'll go over more demon stuff in the future as well. This won't be the only demon stream because there's so much other demonology to go over and so much more stuff that we didn't go over here, such as we'll go over exorcisms as long as they're adults that are being exorcised. I'm not going over children exorcism because that's fucking torture to do that to children, and that's horrible. So let's bring in our next guest, and of course they're everybody's favorite.
War never changes, and we are the Galactic Penguin Federation, NASA's enforcers. We rain fire on our enemies and fight hand to hand across the galaxy. We are ever seen, yet we are never seen in our fight for liberty. We will kick down any door and fight any secret societies.
I knew it. She's a lizard person.
My name, Commander 401. And this is how we handle our problems.
You gotta step up and beat that bully with a stick.
Awesome. How are you, Commander?
We are awesome. We are the Galactic Penguin Federation, and because of their treaty with the United States government, I got my passport in 3 weeks. Or was it the lizard people?
The cyborgs may have had a hand in it as well, but we'll talk about that later. I may have had to stick my fingers in a couple of cloacas as well, but again, we'll talk about that later. How are you doing?
Excellent. I hope my audio's doing better. I've been tweaking it.
It does sound pretty clean. So yes, it does.
You sound good. No worries.
I know how difficult it is to get a transmission from the Antarctic Circle to broadcast to us. So it sounds good today. The Arctic winds must be down. Anyways, let's say hello to the side of my chest right quick, and then we will get to hopefully a couple more people will join us. And if not, no worries. We're going to. Why is that not loading? That's not cool. I'll try this. Okay, I got it. It didn't want to load for a second. And then we'll blow on to this. And if we get through this documentary, which I don't think we're going to, I have a couple other demon things. Like I said, this won't be the first demon stream that we do. So we have a mama, and she got first.
Yeah.
We have a demon.
That's my line.
Yep. We have a Sydney's.
I said.
We have an Al Trucker.
Yeah. Al, enjoy the turkey?
Yes.
Because it's Canadian Turkey Day.
And we have a Mango. Does Canadian turkey taste different than American turkey?
Well, they eat it on a different day.
It's more French. It gobbles with a French accent. That's hilarious. I can't believe that Poo Poo Jenkins is here. There's no how are you here? That's amazing. Yes, Cyborg Death represent. I'm gonna guess hello, Jen. Thank you for being here and joining us. Keep posting as Poo Poo Jenkins, please. That would be amazing. I'll make you blue in a second. Just give us a second. That's one of our old bands, or a band I was involved in was called Poo Poo Jenkins. And then Jen and I were in a band together called Cyborg Death, and that was what that last music video was Cyborg Death.
Which I actually kind of enjoy that music.
Thank you. We had fun making it and performing it live. Hey, Lauren, if you can join us, just let us know. Oh, that's fine.
You got the
We
link.
understand. Hopefully it goes away.
Oh, hope you feel better soon. Hello.
Hey, Jay Troy. I don't know what we remembered, but anyways.
She was probably talking about your which color to buy.
Okay.
With the drink.
And I do have some good news. I have tomorrow off. So I'm going to move tonight's stream to tomorrow, and I will be 100% rested and do it tomorrow afternoon at 3.
Yeah, I missed your last stream. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It was actually short and just to shout out.
Okay.
And yeah, unfortunately, it seems like you do at the times that I'm doing like a show or something like that. But I hope to join it very soon. Here is our channel sponsor. It's a Schizma Crasher. So here is their commercial. And we have a Jasper.
Awesome.
Hi, Jasper.
Yes. So welcome everybody to the Are Demons Real stream, and we will be going over a bunch of things, and I'm gonna let stuff go first before I start telling all the stories that I have about demonism and demonology and stuff like that, with my personal experiences. So let's just begin blowing on. So there is a documentary that looks into demonology and demons that is called Demons, Are They Real? And the reason I picked this is because it seemed to have the most amount of like in between personal accounts and them talking about demonology and the mixture of all of them together, while I do have a handful of other documentaries that are about demons or demonology, but a lot of them are like either way ebbing on the supernatural version of it, like haunts and ghosts, or a very, very religious version of it. So I feel like this is a nice mixture of all of those together. Let me put us on the side. We're going to speed it up a tiny bit, and we're going to put it on the CCCs so we can read what it says. And the best part about closed caption is, especially with something like this, is they sometimes get the words wrong. So we get to see like weird fucked up versions of the closed captions as well while we're watching these.
Well, isn't that the most fun thing about watching videos from Flat Earther Dell?
Oh, dude, it never gets
Because
his fucking shit right. Yeah, no.
Can't understand his Scottish accent.
Exactly. So let's blow on with this. If there's anybody who wants to join us, just let us know. You can always join us too and sit in the background. You don't have to be speaking constantly. So if you do want to put in your 2 cents every once in a while, other than in the cinema chats, you can always just join us. If you're a first time here and you want to join us, just let us know and we will send you a link, or we'll get you a link somehow.
Yeah, you can hit me up so Slim can keep doing this for you.
Yeah. And if Poo Poo Jenkins wants to join, put on a filter, a voice filter, and I'll send you a link somehow. Dude, if Poo Poo Jenkins joined us, it'd be so funny. Okay. Demons are like obedient dogs. They only come when they are called. Just like my dick. Anyways, never mind. I don't know who that person was that they what's it called? Quoted. But anyways, y'all can look that up.
The term demon elicits all kinds of emotional, psychological, and spiritual responses. Often negative, and sometimes terrifying. But what are demons really? Do demons exist in our minds?
Yep.
Or are they entities living in a different reality
Nope.
and at war with humanity? Join me for the next 15 minutes as I attempt to find out what exactly are demons.
This happens for longer than 15 minutes, but I guess it's just him that they interview at first. All right, so right quick. All the arts by God forbidden. All the knowledge hid in darkness, I reveal. Sounds very, very ominous. Yeah, it sounds very spooky.
Sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
Everything that God has forbidden. Must be
It
good.
sounds like
So it does not include incest, rape, murder. So that's good.
Well, it didn't say that per se, but it's like when
that's what God does. So that can't be what.
Oh,
he
so it's
forbids, right?
it's void of that. Yeah, exactly. Similarly, I feel like that's more like when you enter the dungeon with a blindfold on. You get to go and feel and touch and experience whatever you want in the dark. Anyways, let's keep going.
The Irish poet and statesman William Butler Yeats, the father of psychoanalysis Carl Jung.
Let me just make sure that I do have this up. And I'm going to change this to this. Okay.
The painter Salvador Dali.
Junk.
That was some junk. Although that's not as crazy as what we're about to see. Okay, so that hopefully will be enough for everybody to hear.
And even the great Italian medieval poet, writer, and philosopher Dante himself were all believers in demons. What makes these learned and scholarly men come to the realization that such things as demons were rooted in fact?
Okay, I'm going to keep going, and then
superstition,
and that sure. Like if you don't think if nobody told you there's going to witch in the woods, right? Then you went in the woods and you heard scary stuff. You may just like brush it off, but if somebody told you about there's something in the woods, then you're gonna associate it to that. And also, your brain and eyes play weird tricks on you, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. And I believe it's in here. And if not, we're gonna go over writings about why people see ghosts and what are some of the things that happen inside your brain with your eyes and with your senses that can trick you. So your senses are very valuable. That's why you need glasses. That's why you need a hearing aid. That's why you need other things to use your senses. There are some people that are born and they can't even feel, and they end up chewing their fingers off or, cutting off limbs on accident and stuff because they don't have sensory systems, right? So there's a lot of ways that you can misconstrue a lot of things. And I'm not going to talk about my experiences with demons, gods, and other entities just yet, even though I've talked about it on the stream, because I want to get a little bit further into this, and then I'll talk about my experiences with what these people are experiencing as well. Mingo, if you can jump on here, then you can talk about Little Human Fund. If not, just go ahead and post it. And
yeah, if you need more support,
we'll do 50-50. If people buy me a $10 shot, 5 of it goes to Mango, and then I need a tiny bit of money to make sure that I can pay for my tires so that I can do all the stuff that I need to do this month by driving thousands of miles. But anyways, we'll get it figured out. But Mango, if you can come on, then we'll promote him. Even if not, just put it in the side of my chats. But let's keep blowing on with this. And the other thing is, I don't know exactly 100% why humans see deities either as a negative or a positive, right? And so there are some people that have psychopathies, that have things wrong, mental disorders, and they see the negative. I do not know 100% if that is because they were already told demons and these negative beings exist, and then they manifest them and turn them into things that they're using for whatever's going on around them. But, okay, no worries, Mango. But there are a lot of times where you feel the negativity instead of the positivity, especially if you're like walking around a forest in the middle of the night and your like light goes out or something. What are you going to feel? Safe or not safe? Duh, you're going to fucking feel not safe, right? Thank you so much, Commander.
Thank you, Commander.
You're so awesome, Commander. So that means like We'll do 4 shots for that throughout the times of the things. And that's pretty good, J. Troy. Gene Simmons, your favorite demon? Yeah.
Oh, Slim.
Kenneth Copeland is a demon.
Yeah, and I went
in the flesh.
online.
And
we were talking about
Jeebus.
demons, so I had to change the avatar.
Yes,
but
and
even here, he does not.
Yes, that is accurate. That is so accurate.
But even here, he does not look as
so great.
as demonic as in real life.
We just need to paint his face. No, yeah, you're right. But just paint his face a little bit pink or red or more toned pink or red. And oh my Jeebus, like, son of a bee sting. That would be so amazing.
Yeah, I'm
going. And Commander, we love your avatar as well. And for 666, the Satanic Panic special, Commander has made me a lovely intro for that. So we'll be showing that on the 19th, I think, is when we're doing the Satanic Panic special. I will double check that and let everybody know that for sure. So for right now, we're going to take 2 swigs, and then we'll take 2 more in a second. And then Schisma Crasher just bought another one. So that means that there is more. So Mango will make sure that I put up the right money, because not that I wouldn't, just remind me 100%, Mango. You keep track because you're the numbers person. So cheers, bro. Salute, Solange. We're going to do 1 swig. We're going to take a second. We're going to play a little bit more, and then we're going to do another swig. So
Satanic Panic is the 19th.
Did I say that correctly?
That's next week, Tuesday.
Yeah. It may change a little bit closer to Halloweenies, but I keep booking more gigs and I'm not sure. So it matters on when I'm booking gigs and other things. But right now, I think the 19th, and then the 30th, I don't have a gig yet. And so we're going to do an All Hallows Eve kind of thingy-mabobber special for Halloween. And we're just going to watch like either old Halloween specials, or we're definitely going to go over the history really fast about All Hallows Eve and where it came from pagan religion to the different parts in the Europes, as well as it coming to the Americas as well, and then going to other places around the world. So we're going to go over the history of what Halloween has become and how many places actually have it as a holiday. And we're also going to go over to Delis de Muerte and some of the other fall holidays around the world that are about the new harvest and death and the living and stuff like that. So anyways, cheers, bro. Salute, Solange. Here we go.
That's the best.
Bad vodka. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep playing this for a second, and then we will blow on further into my personal experiences with demons and other thingy-mabobbers like that, and why I think people see these things, or my whole like part of it. But again, there's some great demonology in this as well.
The answer lies within coming to terms with the full understanding of what demons and demonic forces represent beyond superstition and religious phobias. On one level, demons are indeed a useful metaphor to explain the darker, unsettling mysteries of human consciousness. But on the other hand, it would be equally unwise to dismiss that demons are also very real non-human conscious entities, and that such ideas.
So at one point in time, they're going to get into the thinking about like, why would they make these wood etchings with these weird symbols on there if there weren't these things that were in real life? It's because at some point in time, and we've already proven this with cave drawings, that humanoids began making cartoons or non-realistic things that their imagination came up with, right? So once again, if you thought you saw Bigfoot in the middle of the fucking woods, at night and you were a Neanderthal, right?
Hmm.
You may draw that on a wall. Does that mean you actually saw it? No. So these different things, and then like they're showing these weird toad creatures in this wood etching. In mythology, in certain areas in the Europes, those creatures meant either a good luck symbol or it was what happens to people who drink too much in a certain area or something else. It's symbology. It doesn't mean that literally you are sitting in a freaking pub playing games with these creatures. And if we watch it back again, the dice are not the same right size as everything else. So the scaling is off as well. So all of these are most likely symbols that represent a scene through symbology and not an actual scene that actually maybe happened.
Yeah, what do you think? Penguins wear power armor? Well,
Yeah,
they do, but
exactly. What is it to go backwards? It's that one. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. And this, you think that there's naked women just being bored inside of a pub? No.
Of human consciousness.
So watch.
But on the
So there's the
other
like
hand,
froggy
it would
type
be equally
people.
unwise.
But then this, I don't know what it is. But then look at how big the dice are. So this is something that is that's a fucking huge dice. So once again, this is done not in proportion. It's done for visuality, for
Is to
whatever they're
dismiss
trying to put
that
across.
demons are also very real non-human conscious entities, and that such ideas are exclusively rooted in being merely products of human ignorance and superstition. To the religious person, demons are nothing less than the emissaries of the devil himself. Yet this is only part of the story, as belief in demons transcends religious devotion. In much of the Celtic world, and particularly within Irish folklore, the distinction between what is a demon and what are fairies, or the Sidhe as they are known, is hardly distinguishable, and has been so since pagan times. Outside the British Isles, the mysterious Donos de Janus megalithic structures of central Sardinia are considered to have been actual cities built by these demonic fairies during the Neolithic period. And my own field work in places such as megalithic Sardinia has made me come to see that there is indeed an undeniable link between what are known as the fairies of folklore and the demons of the religious world, and that both have more in common in terms of their effects upon and relationship towards the humans who encounter both types of entity.
Okay, I guess,
Oh.
but they're two different thingy-mabobbers, right? I mean, demons and fairies, even
Well-
though fairies can be mischievous, but they can still be positive, where demons, I don't believe there's any positivity with them, right?
And people be building that stuff. It ain't
No,
fairies
no.
and demons.
No, we obviously didn't even need to go there, but thank you, obviously, Commander, for doing that. No,
And
they
also-
obviously was man-made.
And also, like, if there's like, oh, there are similarities between the fairies and the demons. Yeah, isn't Christianity basically a ripoff of everything they encountered?
But the problem is like, there's the mythology of fairies and demons is, I think, far enough apart that like I don't see them putting it together. Even though a fairy technically, like Tinkerbell, can be mischievous, right? But that doesn't cause it to be a negative entity. Yeah, because she wanted to F Peter Pan, even though like she was never mind. We're not going to get into the logistics of
the original books are really dark.
Oh well, all of the Grimm Brothers series is fucking insane. When I was in Germany, I went to the Grimm Brothers Museum, and that shit was fucking crazy, dude. Like all of the things are about insane stuff. Like,
Yeah, but
read the
also
old versions of them.
you say the books of Peter Pan, the originals, are dark, but do realize why the Lost Boys never grow up.
Because
They're
they
dead.
were
They're dead.
Yeah. And then there's like a weird thing to sometimes where they talk about how they were sold to the slave trade as well because they were orphans, and there's a bunch of weird effed up stuff about a lot of those old stories. But what was awesome is, yeah, Grimm Brothers Grimm is fucking amazing. And I said it wrong. You're right. It's Brothers Grimm. They used to take a rolling cart around to different towns around the area, and they did puppet shows. So they did like Punch and Judy or a version of that, and then they had all of these marionette puppets, and we went through the museum and you get to see all of the puppets. Most of them are actual like old school versions of them because they had kept doing it until 500 years ago or something. So they did have representations of them. That was amazing. Like Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Goldilocks.
I also enjoyed the series on Netflix, Grimm, based on their stories.
Yeah,
that was a good series. It was fun.
Yeah. They made a good lightheartedness of all of the things, and they put them together with it was the brothers that were going together, right? And then going through, and they were finding all these things or dealing with them, kind of like.
No, like all the creatures were like subspecies of human or something like that, and hiding in plain sight. Quite interesting, quite funny. And Commander, damn, you're a foxy lady.
Yeah, everybody go check out the Grimm TV series. Let's see. I'm gonna take another shot and then we'll keep blowing on, and I will talk about my demon experiences and other silly stuff that I've talked about before, but this is one of those times that like I put them all together. So here we blow.
If there's one thing we can say for certain about the belief in demons and demonology, it is, beyond doubt, a universal belief. There is not a single tribe or culture anywhere on Earth that has not, at least in the past, given sizable cultural credence to the concept.
Because once again, if you have positive, you have a negative. There's not very many cultures, religions out there. They do not see something as a negative. Like a lot of times, what's happening is like you make up a siren, a sea creature, a mermaid or something, right? That pulls the kids into the waters at midnight because blah, blah, and you get children to be scared of certain areas, right? Don't go into the woods during this time because of blah, 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 yakety schmackety. It's just a way to get the kids to do things that you want them to do without mainly giving them a real honest reason, because maybe they're too young to understand, and it's easier to make it palatable, like the tooth fairy. A way to explain why your fucking teeth fall out of your fucking head, or a way to make it more easy for the child to go through that weird, crazy, insane experience that makes no fucking sense, especially if we have a fucking God that made us. Why would we lose our motherfucking teeth? Why wouldn't it just be a permanent motherfucking fixture and these things didn't move around and didn't become abscessed, and there wasn't like gums and other things that don't make any sense if there was an intelligent designer, because of how horrible it has made everybody's life in the past and even currently.
If there's a designer, he's not
or you would get like new teeth every so often so that they didn't wear down or get cavities.
Sure, but it would be like a shark where they would just ping, ping. You know, you're eating one night and just, oh, that tooth fell out. Throw it in the fucking tooth bin, and then and exactly. It would be a very easy thing. Or I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were talking to a theologist, and they were talking about why are molars so fucked up. Why do our jaws not fit molars, and why do some people have too many and some people have less, and then most people have to get some kind of surgery on their jaw anyways for like why didn't it make it perfect so that you could just have your fucking face for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? Especially when they say that what's his dick face name lived 600 years. How the fuck are you gonna live 600 years if your fucking teeth are falling in your face and like everything's corroding and your joints don't even make it to 60 years and shit? What are you talking about, you weirdos? Like, why were they so significant and now we aren't? Oh, the Nephilim, I forgot. We killed the Nephilim, and never mind. I'm just
Oh, whenever I hear the word Nephilim, I just want to scream and hit something.
I know. I'm sorry I brought it up, but that was the only thing.
Then find a Catholic or something. Oh.
We'll find a Nazi and punch him in the face. Anyways, let's keep blowing on with this. And once again,
their faces are quite punchable.
They're very punchable. I have hit a handful of Nazis in the face, and they are very punchable for sure. Allegedly in Minecraft. Anyways, I'm just kidding. So let's keep blowing on with this. But once again, what we were getting at before I got on the tangent is, if you believe in a godly figure, you're going to believe in a negative figure. And if you go to certain things in certain places, it feels like negative things are happening to you, even if you don't know what's going on. You like, bear's trying to get me, something, you know what I'm saying? It's a negative thing that's trying to break into your domicile, your house, your room, invade your space, and or something's watching you. It's a negative experience because that's the human existence. Just like if the bush rattles, I'm going to run away from it because there may be a lion in there, right? Isn't that the fucking bullshit? Like, instead of finding out what's in the bush, which could kill you, you run away from it, and technically you're going to live after that. And so that's your flight response. And that's what most people will do. They feel a negative thing happening to them in these certain circumstances, and instead of running towards it and punching it and knocking it out or trying to like wrestle the demon to the ground and fighting it, you run, or you try to get it to leave, or make it dissipate or get out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I think I explained it.
If you recognize or think you see a pattern and then nothing happens, well, you lived. If you recognize and you see a pattern and you run away and there was something there, well, you lived. If you didn't recognize anything and there was something there, well, you died. So evolutionarily, you're rewarded for seeing things that aren't there.
Yeah, you totally seeing patterns in things is a rewarded system in a species and with existence. Unfortunately, now the human race has got to idiocracy to where
and someone has sixes in their license plate. They be the Illuminati.
Well, there's no need for fight or flight, and so now idiots can sit around just having 20 kids and trying to, and never mind. It's so easy to exist nowadays because there's nobody trying to get us anymore. So yeah, okay, let's keep blowing on.
Of such non-human intelligence, which is often malevolent to humanity and which exists within an invisible world just outside the five sense perceptions of human beings. However, when it suits these entities, and when they are summoned by willing humans, the demons and similar entities can be transported over into our own reality to manifest before our very eyes, either as terrifying monsters or invisible forces which generate chaos and malady within the environment they enter upon. In every culture, this act of demonic invocation, be it one of deliberate or unwelcome intrusion, has been and is still taken very seriously, and is an act to be approached with tremendous caution. The term demon itself is derived from the Greek daimonion or daemon. Although the ancient Greeks did not consider the idea of a demon to be exclusively malevolent to human interest, they were also believed to be associated with an unknown or exterior aspect of human consciousness, which later Carl Jung termed as shatanic, and is related to the gods and spirits of the
shatanic. Okay, I've never heard that before. Oh, yeah, I never heard that before. But anyway.
Maybe it has to do with the word shaman.
Yeah, I see.
Be exclusively malevolent to human interest. They were also believed to be associated with an unknown or exterior aspect of human consciousness, which later Carl Jung termed as shatanic.
Shatanic. Okay.
Is related to the gods and spirits of the underworld, of the earth, and is ultimately derived from the dark material side of the psyche. Jung himself openly described not only communicating with demons and these dark gods and goddesses of the psyche made manifest within his alchemical tower, but also illustrated these entities he encountered within his legendary Red Book, which was kept locked away until his death and which was to be denied publication for several more decades.
Oh, the Red Book, okay.
Jung believed that the demons and other entities of religion and folklore had not vanished with the Age of Reason. Rather, they had been transformed into new entities and forms to reflect our contemporary experiences, beliefs, and fears, from flying devils to flying saucers. However, although they were products of the human psyche, they could still manifest in physical form. Within the Indo-European tradition, demons were considered to be unclean spirits. This idea is almost certainly rooted in the ancient Babylonian belief, from which Judaism and Christianity have their primordial origins, and which associated demons.
But we still don't have proof of them other than you all are saying this, or there is writings of things that look like weird, crazy demons.
As being dwellers of caves,
as of right
underground pits, rubbish dumps, and old abandoned places. This may have made its way, in time, into the post-Christian folklore of the British Isles, which also believed that the fallen angels or defeated fairies resided inside Neolithic and Bronze Age passage mounds, and which, if the unsuspecting individual entered, would be energetically digested by the evil forces within the central chambers.
Yeah, but if you go to try to do that now, that's not going to happen. So why did that happen back then and not now?
As would a morsel of food be digested within the stomach of a man. Humans were considered very literally to be the soul food of the demonic world, and people were to avoid such places.
Humans were soul food for demons. Oh my Jeebus, that was amazing.
No, come on, we all know they also eat puppies.
Dude, they love small animals. Duh, obviously. Okay, we're gonna do one more shot. If anybody wants to get the party started more, then we'll keep blowing on. But this is hilariously silly. Jesus Christ, bad vodka. Okay, where are people supposed to avoid the places that are what as well? I mean, my favorite thing about these is like, this is where people died. Yeah, throughout history, people have died everywhere. I mean, like literally. If you talk about history, people have died almost on every like square meter of fucking land, right? I mean, like there's not very many places that people or things have not died on that had a soul technically, although it matters when you talk about if animals have souls or not. But there is a lot of cryptology that goes into animals, spirits turning into things, or taking over the minds of, or the spirits or bodies of things or whatever. So let's keep blowing on.
As well as the dark and terrifying woodlands and other remote natural locations such as caves and secluded regions. While on one hand these demons who dwelled in such places could have been considered compensatory archetypes for the very real dangers for humans within such places, when say a bite from a wild animal or a fall upon a broken object could result with a deadly infection or a horrific ravaging of the flesh. It must also be noted that even today, when ghost hunters and paranormal researchers attempt to gather evidence of demonic activity, they are more likely to find themselves looking inside an abandoned hospital or old castle rather than within a clean and modern environment. This Babylonian approach to the abodes of demonic entities persists to this very day.
Fuck you, that's not right. There are a lot of ghost hunters that go to modern structures that could have had a history, and or they go into places that are modern, especially if you go to like see the Mothman. If you go see a handful of other cryptids that have been seen inside of city limits, and there have been cryptids seen inside of city limits as well, or towns or other places that weren't out in the middle of nowhere. So cute to say that, and I get what you're thinking, but that's not how most of our evidence has come upon us, especially with Ring doorbells now and other ways of trail cameras and other things that are out everywhere.
During the period of the European Renaissance, the approach towards demons by the educated classes changed to that of considering them to be useful tools within the practice of magic and witchcraft. Because demons are unbound to the space-time reality which humans exist within, these entities could be summoned and then ordered to reveal information about the future, lost treasure, and even be sent to attack an enemy. This concept of summoning forth demons to employ their knowledge derived from a revival in Greek and Roman occult rituals, which had found a new voice during the Renaissance, when complemented with the practices derived from the alchemical tradition of the Middle Ages. The most famous case is that of Elizabethan magicians John Dee and Edward Kelly, who brought forth the entity which called itself Mandini while they were engaged in the search for the ultimate alchemical.
So with all of the technology that we have and all the understanding of making symbols and turning things into things and getting people to do a ritual or something, we've never come across there's actual proof of any of these deities, beings, demons, aliens, or any other organisms, cryptids being a thing, even though supposedly ancients had the technology to make these things appear all the time or whenever they wanted, and had them appear and then give us the foresight for the future or whatever the fuck is they're supposed to be saying in this. We can't figure that out now. Only the ancients figured this out, and our dumbasses can't for some reason. What the fuck, dude?
Knowledge. This utilization of demons being invoked by magicians and occultists to be employed as weapons in something akin to spiritual warfare. However, it is a form of combat which is considered extremely risky and can also lead to the annihilation of the very soul of the magician who dares to conjure up a demon for any purpose, especially that of spiritual warfare. In Hampstead, London, in the 1920s, a theosophist.
Why has in the modern times nobody ever defeated their opponent in a war with demons or anything else that wasn't fucking reality, right? Like, yeah, back in the day, these people that didn't even know how to like make steel properly or were able to make a combustion engine, they knew how to bring demons out so they could
They
win a war.
knew how to summon the dark forces of bullshit.
Exactly. Why is there not a government that is just ruling the whole universe through all of this technology, demon technology, summoning Satan or whatever? You don't think Putin would motherfucking have Satan on fucking the red phone? I mean, direct line.
Oh, he would have Satan on speed dial, and
that's what I'm saying.
Donald Trump, he has paintings of Apollo in his living room from Revelations 9:11, the angel, the bottomless pit. If there was actually a real demons running around, then Trump would control it all by now.
Exactly, and like
because Kenneth likes him.
Yes, Kenneth is a lizard person.
Sure, and we'll go with that. But again, if these things were for real, we would not be living in the times we're living in. We'd be living in this weird, crazy world where demons were telling us what to do, or some country would have taken over everything. If these things were real,
Dungeons and Dragons, right? It would just be the world of magic, Dungeons and Dragons.
It totally would be. It would just be a silly, crazy hodgepodge of hobbits and Dungeons and Dragons and Harry Potter and things like that. I mean, it would just be a silly nonsense where the reason we know that we're grounded in reality is because we don't have those things, and none of that stuff has ever come out to be true. And if you try to do those things, there's no proof of anything. I'm going to keep going because I don't want to talk about my experiences yet.
This group, which had a grievance with a nearby magic circle of occultists, took it upon themselves to summon forth a demonic entity to attack their esoteric rivals. When the magic circle got wind of the Theosophist plans, they conducted a ceremony to not only repel the demonic entity, but to also return it from whence it came, which is what happened when the entity...
What time were they doing this? Because he said Theosophist, and if this is supposedly pre-1870s or 1890s, then there wasn't Theosophy yet. Theosophy was invented in late 1800s.
Yeah, who knows? And most likely you're right, and they didn't do the right research, and they're pulling stuff out of their arsehole to get us to be convinced of whatever their narrative is. So let's just keep blowing on with that in mind.
Entity suddenly manifested at the Hampstead Theosophist meeting, unleashing mayhem, and which continued to cause chaos to the group and individual members until eventually it was returned to the abyss.
Theosophy was invented by Helena Blavatsky back. I was just going to give a brief history. Theosophy was invented by Helena Blavatsky in Moscow around the time that around the 1880s, 1890s, somewhere in and around there. And they thought that there was a land bridge between Australia, Asia, and Madagascar called Lemuria, where the world was populated. That was populated by hermaphrodites with multiple eyes, and it's just weird, and 4 arms.
Yeah, exactly. So once again, just because the ancients thought things, or they wrote things down, or they made stories about something, doesn't mean it.
Just because the ancients had a fucking acid trip doesn't mean their acid trip was real.
And or they could be all allegories, right? The 8-eyed woman with the 4 arms and the thingy-mabobber, and then you like look back and you're like, oh, that was like they were talking about this person because of whatever. I mean, just like Nero is supposedly the reason that they wrote Revelations and put it in the Bible, because they thought that by the time Nero was dead, he was going to he was going to destroy the earth some way, shape, or form by being the Antichrist. And that didn't happen. So it's just sometimes they put in numbers of things, not because of how many number of arms that actually had. It is an allegory, or it is numerology some way, shape, or form that adds something to the culture.
About the 666. All right, the Babylonian deities, there was 4 deacon gods for every zodiac symbol. That's 36, and the summation of 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 + 5 all the way up to 36 is 666, and none of that means anything. Just a little bit of numerology.
Yeah, exactly. So certain numbers are meeting up for different reasons, and it's for whatever the time was, or it meant other things that current times don't completely add up to. So anyways, keep blowing on.
By the time of the Greek and Roman classical civilizations, a belief began to take root that both statues of gods and humans, due mainly to the advancement in realistic artistic renderings of the human form, were believed to be possessed by actual entities. Statues of, say, the god Apollo, Hecate, and so on. The gods and goddesses of the cosmos and the natural world were being culturally removed from the constellations and planets of the night sky, as well as from the beauty of the natural world, to be then contained, symbolically and literally, within man-made objects. With the arrival of Christianity, and specifically following the sacking of the Library of Alexandria, along with the murder and violation of Hypatia, the emergence of iconoclastic cults took root. These fanatics set about destroying pagan idols and effigies, and the results of these rampages of destruction gave rise to the notion that the energetic forces of the pagan god or goddess once contained within these artworks had been set free and was now abroad in the world as demons and other malevolent spirits. Even books and texts were considered to be unclean and filled with malevolent entities seeking every opportunity to destroy the spread of the gospel. The works of Plato, for example, were used as proof of such, as Plato himself once described Socrates as being demonically inspired, and this was taken by early Christians as proof of evil influences in the world in every aspect of the pagan religion, which needed to be rooted out and banished.
Of course.
The initial war of locating and scattering the demons to the four winds is the origin of the rite of exorcism. It is also the reason why the Catholic Church goes to extreme lengths in order to avoid performing an exorcism, as the immortal nature of the demon means it cannot be ever destroyed, only set free into the world, and the hunt begins again, thereby creating a self-perpetuating world of endless opportunities for the ambitious exorcist.
Yeah. Exactly.
And people wind up getting killed during exorcisms.
There is still a lot of people throughout the world that die from exorcisms. It's a huge number, honestly. It's just in certain countries, it's still legal to do them by a priest, and if they die during it, it's the demon's fault and not the priest or pastor, even though they don't give them enough water, they're whipping them, they're doing weird things to them. And like, if they were going through a psychotic episode mentally, they need a lot more nutrients and they need a lot more care and love, instead of being whipped and beaten and told they're the devil. And if they're on hallucinogens or having going through like the flu or some kind of natural instance, like being sick, then now you're making it so that they're going to not get the things they need, like vitamin C and other things, and you're going to be fucking with their mind, and most likely they're going to die from not getting the proper care that they need. Unfortunately, it's kind of like the same thing with some witch doctors in third world countries. Instead of going and getting like proper care, you're going to have somebody just like giving you weird stuff and putting you through a thing. And hopefully for you, they give you enough water and nutrients to get you through whatever episode you're going through, or whatever you're going through to live. But a lot of times they...
A lot of times they give you chicken entrails because it's just easier to make shit up than go to med school.
Exactly. And salmonella is great. No, I'm just kidding. So anyways, keep blowing on.
The person possessed by the demons can be considered something of a portal between the demonic world and our own, and on some levels the priest performing the exorcism is aware that he is transporting an interdimensional refugee into this reality in order to find fresh quarry. Once again, we see this idea transferred into European folklore.
What the fuck is Santa Pigeon doing there? That's Santa Pigeon.
Santa Pigeon?
Goddamn Santa Pigeon.
Santa Pigeon. Someone ought to clip that and we have to use it again. Santa Pigeon is just too ridiculous.
Okay, somebody clip this.
destruction of pagan fairy forts and other ancient sites, releasing the fairies who once resided inside them as vengeful spirits who will torment and seek revenge upon the violators and their descendants. While in the Celtic and wider pagan world, the cultural policy of leave well enough alone, or at the very most, try to make amends with the angry spirit, was replaced in the Christian world as an eternal war between God's people and the feral demons unleashed by the iconoclasts. In many ways, the desire to utilize demons with the revival of witchcraft starting in the Renaissance had more in common with this appeasement and tolerance policy towards non-human entities as it existed in paganism. Eventually, with the Byzantine translation of the Hebrew texts into Greek, Christians would come to see even entire cities and communities as being repositories of these feral demons. From the Cathars to Salem, to the satanic panics of the 1980s, demonic
1980s.
Infestation, akin to an invasion by an outside.
See, once again, like what I was talking about earlier, we're going to be going over like the whole history of the satanic panic. This is one of the versions of it that we'll be talking about.
Force upon the Christian world.
It's like the beginning of the satanic panic back then.
When people get hysterical, they start pulling all sorts of shit and causing all sorts of trouble, making shit up about people and killing people. I swear it's the one who's trying to fight the demons and the devils who are probably the ones possessed.
If they exist, yes, I would agree with that.
And the major problem is once you have a society, a culture, a town or something, and things be going wrong, a drought, multiple floods or other things, you think that there's an outside source causing these things when you're uneducated or unknowledged. So it's easy for you to think it's this person or that person, or this may be a thing to
let me find the scapegoat. Let me find someone to blame for my problems.
Executively, this person just moved into town, or this person just told everybody that they are doing witchcraft, or that they're making this new thing or something like that. Oh, that must be the cause of it. So let's go fucking destroy them and hopefully that'll fix it. And when it doesn't, oh well, let's go to the next thing we're gonna do,
Let's not wash our hands. That's why we get sick.
Yeah.
The name, the dweller in the abyss, is Coronzo, but he's not really an individual. The abyss is empty of being. It is filled with all possible forms, each equally inane, each therefore evil in the true sense of the word. That is, meaningless but malignant, insofar as it craves to become real. These forms swirl senselessly into haphazard heaps, like dust devils, and each just chance aggregation asserts itself to be an individual and shrieks, I. They're aware all the time that its elements have no truth, so that the slightest disturbance dissipates the illusion, just as horsemen meeting the dust devil brings in the showers of the sands to the air.
Among the volumes of demonology, there exists types of demons whose energetic and daimonic intensity is so powerful that such entities come close to attaining the status of gods, and whose power is so colossal and destructive that even the most daring and experienced magicians, and they most highly proficient in the art, will dare not even attempt to summon them from the abyss.
Except for people have tried all of these things, and we are not being taken over by demons constantly. And the psychopaths we're going to be going over in the future that claim they were taken over by demons, or that Satan told them stuff for them to kill all these people or to kill people, we'll find out that there's no proof of any of that.
Among these is the timeless, legendary, and terrifying demon known as Coronzon, or Coronzon 333. The Lord of Cancer, Chaos, and Cholera. In the Thelema magical practice, he is the guardian of the 10th Aether, which is called Zach, and he is the dweller in the abyss, who waits for the chance to leap into this reality and tear asunder the very souls of they who dare to invoke his name. The term abyss, since the Middle Ages, has been taken as being akin to some kind of hell, where all manner of horrors and depravity take place. The abyss is also the unseen realm of the demons, and also that of the jinn of the Middle East, the fairies of the Celtic world, elves of the Nordic mythology, and the Penagagalan of the East Asian tradition, and other non-material entities in all different cultures. Every folk and mythological tradition has
Okay, I don't know if abyss exactly means all of that, but in mythology, sure, that may be what you would think. But an abyss is just like an open hole or some place that is hard to get in and out of, or something like that. Or it is the 1980s porn when you dive into the abyss of the hairy fur mats that people had before they shaved. Anyways, never mind. Let's keep going.
has their own name for these mysterious landscapes beyond the five-sense reality, which we in the West have known as the abyss since the classical era. This bottomless non-reality where all the mysteries and fears of the world lay hidden below. Since the arrival of the Christian era, and in order to discourage notions of nature gods and polytheism, the meaning of the term abyss was changed to that of purely negative and evil connotations. However, this is not the original meaning of the term. In ancient times, the abyss was compared to being the inner reaches of the human mind where untapped powers are uncovered and used by those who are willing and perhaps foolhardy enough to go looking for them. In many ways, the journey into the abyss by a magician or magi is comparable to that of a scientist working with the Hadron Collider looking for the God particle by constantly going deep.
That's not how the world works.
Fuck. How dare they compare science to this shit? Oh.
How you mean magic to this shit? Yeah, no, this is redonkulously insane. If there were magicians that were able to make gold out of nothing, then maybe you could even try to compare this. Maybe you could try to compare this to that. But these are two different things completely. People worked their whole entire lives to come up with this fucking Hadron Collider. And a lot of people risked their lives. A lot of people put up a crap ton of money. This thing only worked like 3 times or something, right? And then they had to rebuild it, and it took like 10 years for them to redo it. And then they've only used it like once or twice since then. So, dude, fuck you for saying that somebody who runs around with a fucking wizard hat on saying they're fucking Magellan or Merlin is the same thing as these motherfuckers that spend all their whole entire lives fucking building this shit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's insane. It's redonkulously insane.
In the membrane.
Okay, let's keep blowing on.
Deeper and deeper into the subatomic and quantum field, which
That's what she said last night.
At the cusp of chaos and order.
Let's keep going deeper.
This is why Choronzon is known as the Lord of Chaos. The demon represents the last gateway leading from the material world into the chaos from which the universe is created. The invocation of Choronzon, or Choronzon 333, represents the absolute expression of magic as being the unification of art and science in accordance with will. And this is a methodology comparable in every way to the work of scientists at locations such as CERN, unlocking the mysteries of the universe and attaining the status of a living god, but only if one can successfully get past the demonic guardians and tricksters of the abyss. Such ideas are universal.
Citation needed. What are you talking about? Just because you idiots don't understand science doesn't mean that, like, we have to ask Satan nicely to make up new technologies or to use technologies, because we have no proof of that. You don't walk into a chemistry lab and on the floor is a pentagram with all the different symbols around it, or you don't have to walk into a circle to hail Satan before you start working with a chemistry or something like that. Like, that's not a thing, you weirdos.
For instance, the hungry troll waiting under the bridge in the Scandinavian and Teutonic tradition, an archetypal danger in the guise of a non-human predator which guards the bridge between this world and other states of being. The World Wide Web itself was created by CERN and launched into the public domain on April 30th, 1993, which just happens to be Walpurgis Night, or the Witches' Sabbath as is known in Central Europe. An intriguing date indeed for the launch of the most profound.
no matter what date it would have been developed on or when they released it, y'all fuckers would have fucking figured out a way for it to be somehow satanic or for it to be something connected to something that y'all didn't like. I mean, duh.
Technological invention of the modern era, or perhaps of all
Jesus
time.
Christ.
It was also during this early phase of the World Wide Web that the Chaos Magicians were flourishing as a movement which sought to modernize magical ritual beyond what they saw were the outdated and overly academic approaches of Aleister Crowley's Thelema. One of the founders of Chaos Magic, Peter Carroll, created the ritual known as the Mass of Choronzon, based again on the scientific in the magical.
This is just like douche nozzle. Was it Barnabas Nagy? That was like, oh, our cell phones are a black mirror. Who was the douche nozzle that said that our phones were a black mirror that we went over?
I think
Nagy.
I think it was the nagging man.
Yeah, because that we went over him on stream. He said that our screens are black scrying mirror devices because when you ask it something, it shows you what you want to see. Ooh, no, dick.
Scrying devices. What a load of crock.
Yeah, no shit. No, homie, when I Google something, it gives me the result that happens to be the most popular thing on the interwebs. It's not what I want it to tell me. I don't get it to say I'm the most handsome modified person in the world that has the most tattoos and that I get all the sex and I have the biggest dick in the world or whatever, right? That's not how it works. I don't get to see whatever I want it to tell me. It's not a scrying device, and it doesn't tell me things in the future. It doesn't tell me things that the interwebs doesn't already know. So
It's like
no.
these idiots are going, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the biggest dumbass of them all? And then the face in the mirror says, you fucking asshole.
And they're like, yay, that means I'm smart. Because I didn't ask who's the dumbest. I said the smartest, right? Their cognitive bias is so hardcore that they can't understand that they're the idiots.
Exactly.
Except for the handful of them that are making the monies off of it. And that's the major problem, again, what we have with the Andrew Tates and we have with the Flat Earth Daves and a couple other people, because Flat Earth Dave will tell you every single fucking day, I'm not doing this to sell my app, Flat Earth app. That's the only way I make money, though. But no, I'm not doing it just to do it. You asshole. Go get another job, Dick Cheese, and tell me that then, motherfucker.
How can he get a job?
And then Dave gets to get all of your info that you put in the app, and he gets to sell it.
Yeah, he sells it to third whatever parties or whatever.
Speaking about jobs, you know what I heard? Like I came across on TikTok. You know which people are unable to get jobs? People that had anything to do with Donald Trump.
I was going to say MAGAs.
Even just the staff in the White House during his reign of terror.
Yeah, nobody can get a job after working with him.
Get a job. I'm like, well, for some people that just work at the White House, I kind of feel a little bit bad for them. But anybody else that just associated with
the policy makers, the people who made up lies, the bullshit artists,
the pussy makers. But anyways, I believe we have one more shot that we're gonna do. If anybody else wants to do to do more shots, let us know.
50. That's at least 10 shots.
No, we're doing half and halves, is what I said.
Yeah,
half is going.
No, but Mango, but you're taking the shots for all of the money, right?
No. I said $10 shots. I said $10 shots to give Mango half.
Yeah.
So we're already at 60. So I have one more shot to do, and then if anybody wants to throw in a little bit more money, that would be nice. Once again, I'm trying to get tires so that I can drive across Colorado the rest of this month. But anyways, let me open this up. And cheers, bro. Salute, Solanche, all the above. Bad vodka. Okay, here we blow. Let's keep going on.
Approach of launching one's ego into the abyss in order to achieve more synchronistic generated results of the process rather than achieving a specific objective aim as outlined at the start of the rite.
What does this have to do with fucking demons, you
when a particle is
weirdo?
launched into the CERN accelerator and the scientists wait to see what may or may not result from this.
Jesus Christ.
Choronzon's employment as the guardian of the 10th Aether can be seen in metaphoric terms as the key to unlocking the full potential of human consciousness and thereby unleashing powers such as extrasensory perception and telekinesis, and employing these abilities as on-demand functions when needed. This desire to enter into the unknown and Choronzon-guarded reaches of the abyss alas comes with a great price, be it the great financial cost of the CERN particle collider or the cost of the mind and soul of the magician. This price was clearly paid by Aleister Crowley's disciple and scribe, Victor Newberg, when the pair successfully brought Choronzon into full manifestation as a shape-shifting monster and seductress during a ritual they performed in the Sahara Desert in 1909. Choronzon was almost...
But we still don't have any proof of this bullshit happening besides these accounts that a bunch of fucking rich dudes went around getting high and experiencing this. I'll go further before I get into my experiences with demons.
Certainly the same demon who manipulated and fooled both Edward Kelly and John Dee back in the court of Queen Elizabeth, and which caused Kelly to refer to the demon Choronzon as the mightiest of devils. In some cultures and certain supernatural traditions, demons are deliberately invoked into the body of a medium who has developed the ability, often through witchcraft, to retain the demon for a limited period of time before expelling the demon once the information has been collected and coerced out of the entity. In the
Yes, you have fortune tellers, you have shaman, you have a handful of other people like this, and they're going to talk about the Afro-Latin version of it, which is technically like voodoo. Okay, Commander. And the other different versions of cultures talking about taking in a demon, a spirit for a little while, and then using it to get information, like I said, and then letting it go or expelling it from either them or another type of host, which is voluntary or non-voluntary sometimes.
Latin American magical tradition of Santeria, ceremonies which I have personally been present at are based on the invocation of non-material beings in order to gain information about the future. The effect of observing firsthand one of these entities entering a Santeria practitioner is both terrifying and startling. The entity will speak in obscure African or Portuguese dialects, and even the face of the person invoking the spirit, occupying them, will change. The demon will often demand large quantities of alcohol or marijuana, yet when the entity leaves the person's body, the Santeria practitioner is completely sober and alert as they were before the ritual began. The impression one is left with is that there are most certainly layers of awareness beyond the normal.
No, the thing is, what happens is after you get yourself fucked up on hallucinogens, which I think on other times they do a little bit more than that, but I'm not going to claim that because I don't know what exactly. You are going to be sub-exhausted, and after going through that episode, you're going to be fatigued, and you're going to act differently than what you were going through when you were having the extreme experience. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to go a little bit further before I get into my experiences with stuff and things.
Human consciousness level, and that among these other layers, all manner of other personalities, entities, and even demons can emerge. Anthropologists,
if you take enough drugs or alcohol, you're not going to act like yourself. So, duh.
agree that nearly all cultures have believed in spirits, demons, and other entities which inhabit or affect human life. And the vast majority of societies have also recorded dramatic stories of demonic possession. Often, it is hard to make the distinction between what is a devil and what is a demon. And in the case of most demonic possessions, the demon will often refer to itself as the devil or Satan, although there's almost no theological evidence to demonstrate that such an entity or being as the devil actually exists. In these cases, it's almost certain that the demon invokes the name of the devil in order to create something of an egotistical sense.
Okay, Commander, no worries. So, you there's a gazillion and a half people on the earth. You literally think that Satan, the head demon, the head devil, has time to put itself inside of people or to do things instead of sending one of their demons to do it? That's fucking insane. There's no way. It's just like thinking Zeus impregnated all those women or did all those things with all those things and stuff and things. There's so many people around. Why is they gonna do that for these people and not the rest of existence? It's fucking weird.
Of importance to dominate and suppress individuals who are aware that they're dealing with demonic possession. Theologians interpret devils as fallen angels. The name Satan, for instance, means the enemy or the evil one. Lucifer, on the other hand, means the light bearer. And these are known as the kings of the devils or the kings of the demons. The devil and demons are often depicted as being hairy, having horns, having a long reptilian tail, and universally cloven hooves. All of these symbolize the archetypes of wrongdoing and lying in terms of them denoting a fall from grace, and the unconscious forces that influence our psyches and cause us to degrade ourselves and take part in moral wrongdoings and degenerate behavior.
Okay, I'm going to go through this right quick, and then we're going to begin getting the fuck out of here. We'll do another demon, are demons real, or fallen angels, or whatever. Are they real, or whatever, in the near future. So the only time that I've ever experienced ghosts, demons, baby Tyrannosaurus Rexes, cyborgs, robots, and a handful of other things is because I was under the influence of hallucinogens, or I was under the influence of a handful of other things that were causing my senses to be completely wrong. I'll go over the seeing demons really fast, and then we'll get out of here. And in the near future, during this month, I will talk about me seeing all the rest of the stuff. Aliens, ghosts. I have a couple other demon stories as well. Being called a fallen angel and being kicked out of Christian school. I'll tell that story again. But the story I want to tell right now is there's a thing called methamphetamine psychosis. If you do enough meth, not eat, not drink, and not sleep for long enough, even if you don't have pre-existing mental disorders or things wrong with your brain, then you can have these. And I have definitely things wrong with my brain. So I spent 2 weeks straight not sleeping. I was smoking stuff and things that I was saying earlier that I've been clean off for 18 years or however long. And at one point in time, after not sleeping and not taking enough nutrients, I literally saw demons coming after me out the corners of my eyes, and I tried to fight multiple demons. At one point in time, I was talking to multiple different people, having a conversation. Every time I blinked my eyes, they all went away. So just because you experience something that you can't explain doesn't mean that's 100% exactly what happened. And you have to look at things constructively all together and say, was I drunk? Was I high? Did I get enough sleep? Was there a gas leak and a handful of other things? And so we're going to go over about, is your house actually haunted? And we're going to go over some of the things that can cause your body to trick itself into thinking that maybe supernatural things are happening inside your domicile because of your ignorance. Unfortunately, most likely is what's happening for a couple of reasons. No worries, Commander. We totally understand, and we hope everything goes well. So speaking of that devil, is there anything you want to say, Brainless, before we get out of here?
It's just, yeah.
It's not much to say. Like, there's just so much stupidity in this world, and like, yeah, from you, I get it. Like, if you've done drugs, that you've seen them, but like, if you see demons and you've not done drugs, go see a psycho. Go get some mental help.
Go talk to somebody professional and go see why maybe or whatever, because there may be something that is creeping on into you, and you may be getting something new that's happening to you, because every 20 years or so your body changes enough to where you may grow into a mental disorder, unfortunately, or thing may be happening and you just need to balance a certain type of chemical in your body to make it go away. Or after I went through being told the tooth fairies are not real, Santa Claus isn't real, leprechauns aren't real, and a couple other things, and everybody kept saying, but God is real, and demons and devils and blah blah blah, the rest of that bullshit's real. I was like, wait, what? Like, how come everything else is fucking fake? Y'all fucking told me that I've never seen, or that doesn't make any sense. But then these weird things all of a sudden are, and yes, you do kind of see them, or there can be like fake presence, and sometimes you do see fairies or leprechauns or other things like that. But what? Give us real proof. Let me see real proof of a lot of these things happening, and with like awesome 4K footage or other things. And once again, we're going to be going over a lot of this stuff during this week. This month, because of it's spooky time. So we're going to be going over ghost stuff, murder mysteries. Tomorrow we're going over Taylor Shabusiness. And if you don't know who this crazy, insane lady is, you're going to find out about her. And then Wednesday is going to be mainly spooky news stories. And then Thursday is going to be spooky, scary monsters that we're going to be going over, which is just cryptids, but it's more like Wolfman and some of the other were stuff. There's like were pigs, there's were rats, there's were other things that we're going to go over as well. So new types of spooky monsters and cryptids that I've rarely heard of, and I've gone through this crap a bunch. So thank you all very much for being here, and we will see you all next time. So yes.
Motherfuckers.
Yes. All right, later, y'all. Bye.